Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon in conjunct Jupiter in a natal chart. Now, first off, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the moon in conjunct Jupiter in a natal chart, there may be an adjustment, which is the inconjunct, may be needed between the emotional needs, which is the moon, and the expanding and just simply expanding horizons, going outside the box, so to speak, which is Jupiter. It could be where you're just emphasize your comfort zone, what you feel comfortable at home with, which is the moon, and not enough, expanding horizons, going outside the box, or vice versa. There could be a strong imbalance with this energy. Now, if you have, Jupiter and Capricorn, so the horizons, you may desire to expand. Be maybe connected with business, career-related matters. It could be gaining greater social stature in life, as some examples, or it could be, doing something, more specifically connected with Capricorn as far as a field or profession goes. You might be, doing something with dentistry or accounting, information technology, masonry. Um, it could be mentoring, construction, architecture, as some examples. Now, the thing is, too, if you have the moon in conjunct Jupiter in your natal chart, you may feel, which is the moon, exceptionally exuberant and enthusiastic, which is, Jupiter one moment, and the opposite the next. There may just be, your emotions maybe just could go completely stagnant in other instances. So, let's say if Jupiter, is in Aries, there may be, some strong exuberance and enthusiasm connected with leadership, standing up for others, things that require, bravery. It could be something even, Aries, or specifically Aries related, such as combative or volatile sports. Volatile sports can include football and hockey. Doing something with welding, arson investigation, law enforcement, as some other examples. And it could also, if you have the moon in conjunct Jupiter in your natal chart, it may also manifest in really strongly being in that mood, which is the moon one moment, to express your philosophies and beliefs, which is Jupiter. Then other times you may just simply be apathetic regarding this. If Jupiter is in Aquarius, as an example, those philosophies and beliefs may be, unconventional or unorthodox, or they may be tied in to something Aquarius related, whether it could be astronomy, astrology, computers, the internet, electronics, innovation, meteorology, aviation, as some examples. Now, another thing, if you have this aspect in your chart, it could be an imbalance, between those activities, with the mother and family, which is the moon, and or just the, mother in general, and also between in-laws and foreigners, which is Jupiter. One or the other, may be overemphasized. If you have, say, your Jupiter in Taurus, as an example, in-laws and foreigners, one or more, may actually be a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, people that are rather, loyal, steadfast, patient, persistent, persevering, but yet may be stubborn, obstinate, and even materialistic as well. So, and the thing about this is too, um, if you have the moon, in conjunct Jupiter in your natal chart, another way it may be expressed, is that, there may be times when you're just simply enamored with nurturing and caring, which is the moon for in-laws and foreigners, again, which is Jupiter. And other times you may just simply be oblivious to them. If you have your moon in Gemini, as an example, you may nurture and care for these people. It could be through, things connected with mental stimulation, just simply communicating. Um, it could be things connected with manual dexterity, which can, some examples can be, auto or refrigeration, mechanics. It could be taking these people on short journeys, to the store, as some examples. And, if you have, your Jupiter, say in Pisces as an example, in one or more in-laws or a foreigner you may know well may actually have a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be, people that are rather, compassionate, empathetic, intuitive, sensitive, emotional, sacrificing, altruistic, but at the same time may also be, deceptive, duplicitous, and elusive. Now, also, another way, this aspect of the moon in conjunct Jupiter may pan out in a natal chart is that you may, spend extensive time in the home, which is the moon, and not enough being open, to going, outdoors and foreign traveling, which is Jupiter, or is the other way around, or vice versa. If you have your moon in Pisces, it could be, a home life that could be very chaotic, to say the least. One in which you just strongly, use for isolation and, escape, from the outside world. If your moon is in Taurus, as another example, it could be a home that you find, a lot of peace and tranquility in, where there's stability, that you're really enamored with creature comforts. And as some other, examples, if Jupiter is in Aquarius, foreign travel, maybe somewhere, places that are of an unusual nature, and if that does happen, it could be, foreign trips, long distance journeys that are very, you could say, spontaneous and unexpected, to say the least. Now, also, too, if you have, the moon in conjunct Jupiter in your natal chart, there may be at times, very, exaggerated and distorted, which is Jupiter, responses, which is the moon. Then other times you may just simply go dead, stagnant in the response department and be simply, unresponsive. If the moon is in Taurus, say, that could really, reaffirm or reinforce that energy, because the moon in Taurus at times, can be unresponsive, and more so, I would say, than the other, moon signs on average. Now, also, too, if you have this aspect in your natal chart, there may, be a tendency at times to overindulge, which is Jupiter, in food, which is the moon. And other times you may just simply eat very little. There could be very strong, vacillation and distortion of this energy. If the moon is in Gemini, as an example, well, there may be a strong variety of food, manifold, things that one may eat, and the person may eat, rather quickly too. I have my moon in Gemini, and I've had, at least one friend tell me that I eat, pretty fast, to say the least. So, anyway. And also, too, another way that this aspect may manifest in the natal chart, it could be where, at times you may be dominated by, really, the positive, which is Jupiter, memories, which is the moon. And other times you just may not really, feel like reminiscing or at all, period. If, let's say, if the moon is in the zodiac sign Cancer, those memories, may often be tied into the home, the family, You know, it could be doing, it might have been doing something cancerian related, whether it be cooking, you know, culinary restaurant work, you know, something with laundry, plumbing, home renovation, remodeling, real estate, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.